is Aromie here, and welcome back to Reanimation Scheme. We are here in our hotel room, grabbing what's-a-face into our room because what the fuck is he doing here? Once we enter my temporary bedroom, I slam the door shut behind us. Ensuring it's locked, I then cast a quick magic barrier outside the room to prevent sound from escaping. Not as effective as air magic would be, but is better than nothing. Jory tilts his head in curiosity, his eyes following my every movement. Huh? What's all this for? Are we under attack? Why are you being so secretive and sneaky? Are you actually a spy? For who? Hey, can I join? I cut him off, finally letting the rant burning on the tip of my tongue flow freely.
Ziana!
For the love of Ziana, do you realize what you're doing? Was it not clear enough this morning? I told you to stay in the house until we return. Why in the name of Ziana are you here? Aren't you happy to see me, Michiko?
No.
Jory looks unfazed by my blunt response, and his tongue darts out of his mouth briefly, an amazing display of maturity and defiance. Hold on one second, because this, the music's louder than their actual voice. Not down for that. Well, too bad. I'm here to stay.
Jory.
Do you have any idea how dangerous it is for you to be here?
Huh?
For who? For you and me. Letting out a frustrated sigh, I tap my feet against the ground. I need to make him comprehend the gravity of the situation somehow.
Jory.
Nobody has been able to contact the spirit realm. People fear that something has happened to the spirits, and people are panicking. As a spirit, the headquarters of the Necromancy Authority is the last place you want to show up in right now. I give him a desperate look, praying he understands my hint. Considering he hasn't immediately proceeded to bombard me with questions and demands for further explanation, I assume he does. Unfortunately, he still doesn't seem concerned. He merely shrugs, his buoyant grin not slipping one bit.
Right.
Fine, even if you don't care for your own fate, I care for mine. Can you imagine what trouble will follow if they hear that I'm the last death mage to summon a spirit, and such an unusual, rule-defying spirit at that? I have to take a deep breath to calm myself. I can't draw the authorities' attention, not right now. With the panic I sense growing within the authority, I wouldn't be surprised if they resort to drastic measures soon. And I cannot risk being the target of that, not to mention Sebastian's secret. You're worrying too much. Nobody will find out what I am. The mages earlier didn't it? Do not get me started about that. I can't believe he dares to pretend to be a death mage and mingle with other necromancers. You're extremely lucky the group earlier was not particularly astute.
Huh?
Why not? They're a great bunch, very jolly and love a good laugh. You don't know anything about magic. How are you going to pass as a death mage? What if you were asked to cast a spell or two? How would you wiggle your way out of that?
Great!
Then I cast a death magic spell I know.
Yes.
Exactly what Wait. What did you just say? Technically, was he also a mage?
Huh?
Then I cast a death magic spell I know?
What?
What do you mean by I cast a death magic spell I know? Like this. His face scrunches up into an expression of concentration. A few moments later, I sense a change in the magic essence around us and my breath catches. It is impossible. Except apparently it is. Anything's possible at this moment. A recognizable sigil, one that is among the first every novice death mage is taught, slowly emerges. It's faint, much fainter than it normally should be, but there's no mistaking its familiar pattern. A small purple bolt. I thought I was gonna sneeze. A small purple bolt of magic darts towards me. It's only out of pure instinct that I managed to react in time. The incantation leaving my mouth without thinking. Ooh, this is cute. A light purple barrier appears between us, easily dispelling Jory's attack. A weak spell from him, but a spell nonetheless.
Oops.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Good reflexes, Michiko. With a wave of my hand to dismiss the barrier between us, I regard Jory with a complicated look, at a loss for words. He flashes me a brilliant grin in return, but he fails to hide the exhaustion creeping onto his face, and I swear his figure looks a little paler than before. How did you learn that spell?
Golly gallops!
I picked at some of the books lying around your study. It took me all day to figure it out. Golly gallops, I never knew how hard being a mage is. So, wow, he just picked up a book and just tried it out and it worked. I feel almost numb to what should have been a shattering revelation. Jory has brought too many surprises in the span of 2 days. At this point, I would not be surprised even if he told me he could fly or teleport at will. I slide him sideways glance as the fleeting thought crosses my mind, suddenly feeling the need to ask.
Well...
You can't fly or teleport, right?
Ah!
Nope, I tried, but sadly, nope. He's tried. I don't think I want to ask how, when, and why he made such an attempt.
It's okay.
But I can do magic now, so it's okay. I will fit right in as a death mage. Jory puffs out his chest, looking proud of himself. But where are you gonna sleep?
Wrong.
Just because you can cast a single spell does not mean your disguise as a death mage is foolproof, Jory. This is a terrible idea. You'll be safest in my house. For the first time, Jory's smile falters, and a fleeting expression that borders on sorrow crosses his face.
Huh?
No, I'm not leaving. I don't want to be stuck in the house alone anymore. I've had enough of it. As if catching himself in this momentary, uncharacteristic outburst, Jory's voice regains its usual chipper, animated tone, and he grins at me with excitement. Michigo, it's amazing here. There's so much to do, so many people to talk to, so much fun to be had. I promise I'll be careful. Nobody will be able to tell there's anything different about me. Uh-oh. Jory's being really stubborn about this. What should I do? Forget it. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Sebastian can handle it later. No, I must put my foot down. I try to gently reason with him again. He's not gonna take it, to be honest. I don't want to shelter him either. But I don't want to make Sebastian in charge of him when I technically summoned him. Put my foot down. He can hate me as much as he wants as a demo. It's still too risky. He should have stayed put like we told him in the first place. I'm sorry, Jory, but I can't allow that. You can't remain here at the headquarters. It'll be a disaster for both of us if anyone clues in on your secret. I'll have Sebastian escort you back to Surinand? I don't know. Well, whenever he decides to show his face again. You can try.
What?
He cocks his head at me with a wide grin that doesn't seem befitting of the situation. I frown, irked by his flippant attitude.
Look here.
Jory, this is not fun and games. I'm serious. I don't think you understand the possible consequences. My voice trails off when I realize with a start that Jory is becoming fainter and fainter. I squint in confusion.
Jory?
It's okay.
Are you purposely fading away? No worries, Michiko. It's okay. It'll all be fine. I won't get caught. Promise. I'm going now, so I'll see you later. Oh, he is doing that on purpose. His figure flickers before completely disappearing from view. Alarmed, I make a wild grab at where Jory's arm was, but I find nothing but thin air.
Jory?
Where are you going? Get back here. Very mature of you to just run and hide. There's no response, and make a few more blind swipes to the air before reluctantly concluding that he must have made his escape by phasing through the door while in his immaterial form. I let my head fall into my hands, groaning. This is not the kind of break from work I asked for. Sienna, I really do hate my job a bit more every single day. What I wouldn't give to get my promotion so I wouldn't have to deal with spirits on a daily basis anymore. Well, damn. Isn't that rude? Part 3, the questioning? I really do not know how long this demo is. I jerk out of my sleep with a small gasp, my eyes fluttering open, only to be greeted by the pitch-black room. What time is it? What happened? Where am I? For a moment I squint into the darkness, unsure what prematurely dragged me into consciousness. Uh-oh. It's Sebastian. Then out of the corner of my eye I spot a looming shadow of a figure, lingering near the door of the room.
What?
My heart leaps to my throat. The sudden rising panic chokes me like a large hand wrapping itself around my neck. Kicking the blankets off of myself and scrambling to sit up, I nearly roll off the bed. The figure at the door turns its head towards me before the scream can find its way out of my mouth. I hear Sebastian's whisper, so low that I can barely hear it. You're awake. Were you just fucking standing at the door? Just staring at nothing? My eyes slowly adjust to the lack of lighting, enough for me to realize that the figure belongs to a certain cat familiar of mine. I fall back onto the mattress, relief washing over me and dousing the momentary hysteria. My heartbeat gradually returns normal, and I let out a loud groan, burying my face into the pillow.
Ziana.
Why did you shift into human form, Sebastian? You scared the life out of me. Shh! Quiet! His barely audible hiss. I lift my head to arch an eyebrow in disbelief at him. Since when is he so considerate about other people's slumber, especially when he has no qualms about rousing me from mine? It is then that I notice the defensiveness in his stance and the sloppiness in the way he's dressed, as if he had thrown on his clothes in a huge rush. I frown. What happened while I was asleep? Is there some sort of unknown threat? Untangling my legs from the sheets, I slide off the bed. I keep my footsteps as light as possible while making my way over to where Sebastian is standing guard by the door. As I draw closer, the prickling feeling of unease grows stronger, yet I can't pinpoint any cause for it. Right when I'm about to brush it off as just unexplained paranoia, I sense a vague trace of death magic outside the room. The trickle of magic essence slinks towards the door, then pulls backwards. It remains lurking in the vicinity without any further movements, as though testing the waters before deciding to lie in wait. Ew. Sebastian and I share a look, and I whisper in a hushed tone. What's happening? He mouths something at me that I can't discern in the darkness. Unfortunately, I don't have time to question further. The hint of magic increases in intensity until I sense a spell being cast. No, don't. But then the last syllable of the incantation has already fallen from my mouth. Although I can't see from the inside of the room, I know that a barrier has just sprung up on the other side of the door. Through my connection to the barrier, I can feel my unseen opponent's spell bounce off my shield. In a quick succession, I cast another spell, this time a simple attack, direct towards the location where the foreign hit of magic was earlier. Unfortunately, the caster has already withdrawn immediately, and I failed to land a hit.
What in the name of the 12 deities?
Why did you do that? Well, I wasn't going to back down like a coward. I had to stand my ground and establish dominance. This is my room, and it was my sleep that they just interrupted. Unforgivable. Sebastian lets out a sigh. He's probably glaring at me, but the effect of his glower is greatly diminished when his face is shrouded by the darkness. I told you to wait so we can draw them inside the room. Then we could find out who it was and what they wanted with the advantage of surprise on our side.
What?
You expect me to be able to see what you were mouthing? I hope you realize I don't have night vision like you. Well, you should have still known better than to act impulsively. Apparently not.
Well...
Are you forgetting something?
Huh?
Sebastian.
You're in human form right now, Sebastian. If you're seen like this, how would we explain it? I refuse to pretend you're a lover that I snuck in. Why not? He's cute. Sebastian blinks, surprise flashing across his face, along with what looks suspiciously like a flush. He gives a small cough and turns his head away from me.
What have you done now?
Fine. Then tell me, what have you done now? Who did you offend? Why were they probing around your room at night? You've only been here for less than a day. What sort of trouble could you have brought upon yourself already?
Look here.
I didn't do anything. The only people I talked to yesterday were you, Larissa, Jory. I paused. As soon as Jory's name crossed my mind, I reminded of the odd fleeting feeling I had in the dining hall yesterday being watched. Actually, could it be related to Jory?
Jory?
The spirit you summoned, what about him? You would know if you hadn't disappeared all day.
Come on.
It wasn't all day. I did return at night, didn't I?
Yes.
But only when it was almost midnight, and then you immediately curled up to sleep. I thought cats are most active during nighttime. You're one to talk. When are you ever not on the verge of falling asleep, day or night? I shrugged, not in the slightest bit apologetic. With the adrenaline fading, sleepiness creeps up on me again, and I raise my hand to hide a yawn. Sensing my waning alertness, Sebastian prompts with an urgent look.
What happened?
How is Jory involved in this? I fill Sebastian in on the events of the day before, keeping it as brief as he can. Upon hearing the situation, he frowns and narrows his eyes at me. How could you just let Jory escape?
Look here.
It's not easy dealing with the spirit. If you're so displeased with how I handled the situation, you can take care of all Jory-related matters from now on. Of course you'd like that. You just can't be bothered and want to pass the responsibility off on me. Would I do that? I'm hurt that you would think that of me. I flash him an innocent smile, but I only receive another look of exasperation in return, as he's clearly unconvinced.
All right.
Well, what are we supposed to do now?
Well...
We have to find a way to send him back from the headquarters, especially now that he has already drawn unwanted attention. I expected Sebastian to agree, but instead he knits his brows, speaking with hesitance.
Huh?
You believe the incident just now has to do with him?
Oh.
You don't? Sebastian considers for a moment before giving a slow shake of his head.
Why?
I doubt it. Jory looks no different from any living human. Why would anyone jump to conclusion so quickly that there's a spirit walking amongst them, especially with the current situation? Even if someone is suspicious of Jory, why would they investigate your room just because you were spotted talking to Jory yesterday? He's spoken to plenty of people at the headquarters, hasn't he? The points made by Sebastian sound logical, and I can find no faults with his reasoning, at least in my current half-awake state. Yet something doesn't quite sit right with me. Is it really merely coincidence that this happened right after I did Jory yesterday afternoon? Besides, I've only been at the headquarters for less than a day. I've hardly done anything to warrant such a reaction from any mage. I mean, the people that were living in the headquarters that also already live in the capital were told to leave the hotel. Maybe they have something? They have a grudge? Maybe, who knows? Sebastian can tell I'm less than persuaded. He spreads his arms in front of him in a helpless gesture. Can't do much anyhow, not as though we can lock him up to prevent him from running around. His words remind me of Jory's demonstration of how slippery he can be with his unusual spiritual abilities. Realizing the truth of what Sebastian is saying, I can only sigh. Just watch over Jory as much as possible. Make sure he doesn't get himself or us into trouble. Sebastian's expression sours, clearly far from thrilled. For the love of 12 deities, or whatever how he pronounced it, why am I expected to be the one to keep an eye on him? I have to look into the identity of the unknown mage poking their nose around earlier. I don't have time to supervise the spirit. Do you want me to be more associated with him than I already am? Sebastian's mouth parts, but he fails to come up with a retort. Pinching his brows together, he sighs heavily.
Alright.
Oh, I win! Thanks, man. Even though it's not really a competition. Get some sleep. Whoever it was won't be back tonight after what happened. Hi. You're still adorable. In a flash of light, Sebastian shifts back into his cat form. I watch Sebastian strut across the room towards the door, his green eyes glowing in the dark.
Sebastian?
What about you, Sebastian? Where are you going?
You tell me.
Oh, don't be sassy. Ugh, what do you think I'm doing? I have a spear to hunt down. As if venting his frustration, he punches a ball of yarn in his path with his paw, sending it flying across the room. I hide a roll of my eyes. Sometimes I think he was locked in the form of a cat for so long that he's adopted far too many cat-like attributes without realizing it himself. This is actually where I had to save, because I have no idea how long this demo is. But as I'm recording this, the Kickstarter has already, I believe, reached 75% of their goal, which is hella amazing. I don't think I'm going to be able to, like, what's the word? Fund? I don't know what the Kickstarter word for it. Pledge for the game. So for those of you that will be pledging for the game, thank you guys for your help and funding this game. It's almost there. They have like about 20 something days left as I'm recording this. I don't know the schedule of the uploading, so hopefully by the end of my series the game's actually fully funded, which will be amazing to see. So thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
You touch it,